Hello guys, welcome back to LR Anime. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of Flame Emperor episode number 295 based on novel. So let's start. Boom. In just a few breaths, tens of thousands of contestants were teleported through the gate of space and successfully entered the demon prison of Poison Temple Town. With a sound, Xiao Yan and the others lightly landed on the ground. The overwhelming evil aura, like a tide, shrank back and forth in this space at an astonishing speed, making people shudder. Is this the poison-suppressing demon prison? Xiao Yang had just arrived in this space, and after sensing the overwhelming evil aura, even breathing became more difficult. Looking around, in this demon suppression prison, it turned out to be a huge space that seemed like a dead silence. The space was boundless as far as the eye could see. Even Xiao Yang's soul power could not detect the edge. However, on the deep pits that can be seen everywhere or on the ditch, there are many bones and some broken weapons, which renders the atmosphere of this town devil's prison to the extreme. The deadly silence, coupled with the evil corpses that can be seen everywhere, makes this demon suppression prison shrouded in darkness all day long. Moreover, the line of sight can easily penetrate the evil aura, and you can vaguely see that, around those white bones, a trace of black energy of strange power, like shackles, completely connects the white bones and the bones of their fallen powerhouses, and those chains are all full of evil power or holy and tyrannical breath. Big brother. They seem to. The next moment, when Xiao Yang finished looking around, Xiao Gui frowned and said to Xiao Yang, "Obviously there are only the two of them here. As for the two of them, the other people who entered the demon suppression prison together disappeared without a trace. It seems to be separated. The transmission of the door of space is random." Xiao Yang glanced at it and found that within 100 meters, there were only two of them, and he immediately shook his head. "Big brother, where are we going now?" Xiao Gui naturally trusts Xiao Yang very much, so he also focuses on Xiao Yang. "There. I'm afraid that's the center of the demon suppression prison." Xiao Yang's gaze, piercing the boundless evil energy, suddenly stared at that. In the endless space of the demon suppression prison, there seemed to be a rather vague and magnificent palace, slowly floating in the air in the center of the town magic prison. The whole body of the magnificent palace is filled with countless tyrannical coercive seals, even dazzling lines with the coercion of heaven and earth, wrapping it tightly. You don't need to think about it, the seal there is impressively the most powerful in the suppression prison. The demon empress of poison braces. Let's look around first to find out the situation here, and then go look for them. Xiao Yang looked around and said immediately. The evil winds of Sisi continued to emerge, causing the two of them to sink. Obviously, this level of evil aura was quite threatening to Sanqing Doxian. In this demon suppression prison, there is an aura of evil everywhere. Although there are many strong men from the Great Thousand Worlds who have fallen in the demon suppressing prison, I am afraid that their relics are not so easy to find. I can only look around. Xiao Yang looked at this huge space, and immediately shook his head, and then he could only focus on the dry forest where the two were. The place where the two of them are currently is a rather barren forest, but in this forest, there is no vitality or even green at all, and there is only the boundless and monstrous evil atmosphere. The next moment, the two of them were just about to walk, but on the withered branches, a peculiar black chi slowly spread out, and the black chi contained a rather tyrannical evil spirit. Force. In an instant, hundreds of black chi suddenly condensed together, and immediately formed a devilish giant python composed of black chi. The whole body of the devilish giant python is 100 feet in size, and its whole body is covered with black evil power, but at the pupil, a trace of seductive blood-colored luster reflects a monstrous evil power. "Xiao Gui, you stay here, be careful." Xiao Yang looked at the giant python with demonic energy in front of him, and immediately felt an unprecedented threat, and immediately burst into flames and walked over to it. "Hey!" In an instant, as Xiao Yang approached the demonic python immediately left the branch, and then hovered in mid-air, with its snake pupils staring at Xiao Yang. Although the demonic python did not have any intelligence at this time, it was just a machine that only knew how to kill, but when he saw the rising flames above Xiao Yang's body, he couldn't help but be vigilant. Crash! Xiao Yang also seemed to have sensed the demonic python's actions, and immediately opened his mouth, suppressing the fluctuations of the holy flame in his body. The strength of this devilish python is comparable to that of a human being in the early stage of the 3-star Battle of Immortals, and the power is even more terrifying when he is in the devil prison, but even so, Xiao Yang does not need to use holy flame. After all, Xiao Yang is now Yang, it is more than enough to deal with this kind of guy, and using holy flame may attract more powerful evil. After a moment of vigilance, the The demonic python also relaxed its vigilance, and then twisted its huge body wrapped in demonic energy, opened its mouth, and roared towards Xiao Yang. Tear it off. A terrifying roar filled with shocking energy just filled the air, and suddenly the mouth of the devilish giant python came to Xiao Yang head-on. Dragon God's first transformation. Dochi. Seeing this, Xiao Yang calmly called out softly, and instantly a very dim golden luster appeared on the body. With the blessing of the first transformation of the Dragon God, the strength of the body has become a higher level, and the next moment, the fighting core flame fighting chi in the body is emerging. With a sound, Xiao Yang raised his hand suddenly, and immediately grabbed the head of that fierce devilish giant python. How could the devilish python know that Xiao Yang was so tyrannical? Relying on the blessing of the first transformation of the Dragon God and the suppression of the evil power by flame fighting chi, he directly confronted him. Crash. At that time, the body of the demonic python suddenly twisted, trying to break free from Xiao Yang's restraint. Big heavenly seed. Red flame sea of fire. Naturally, Xiao Yang would not give the demonic python such a chance, and immediately shouted, a bright voice filled with blood-colored flames, and suddenly diffused from its body, and then with the help of Xiao Yang's palm, he instantly sent the demon out of his body. The gas giant python was completely restrained. Being enveloped in such flames by Xiao Yang, the devilish giant python suddenly ran away as if it was under a fatal threat. Go to hell. Oh. The next moment, just as Xiao Yang was about to kill, he noticed the strange chains in the body of the demonic python, which seemed to be connected to the depths of the forest, and he immediately laughed. Go, follow it. Seeing this, Xiao Yang smiled slowly. Just when the demonic python was dying, the chain emerged. Xiao Yang noticed something else. The reason why this demonic python was so weak was because there was a bigger fish behind it, and that guy, more than the demonic python, was more powerful, but it was enough to give Xiao Yang a lot of points. Although the devilish giant python is composed of evil aura, after all, its strength is only in the early stage of the 3-star battle of immortals, and it has no spiritual wisdom, so it is easily defeated by Xiao Yang, but Xiao Yang did not obliterate it and let it follow that the chain fled back, because Xiao Yang, relying on his tyrannical soul power, found some strange aura from the chain, and that aura was probably the source of this demonic giant python. This cave. The two of Xiao quietly followed the demonic python for a while, and suddenly discovered a rather strange cave. The cave as a whole is like a circular hole, but it seems that there are extremely tyrannical sealing forces arranged around it. The devilish giant python just came to the side of the cave, and it suddenly turned into an evil chain and rushed into the cave abruptly. These chains. I'm afraid there are some tyrannical guys in this cave. Xiao Gui followed him all the way, so he muttered softly. These chains are a bit interesting. After Xiao Gui said this, Xiao Yang turned his head and found some mysterious patterns on the chains. It seems that they are extremely fearful, but these chains are all rotten too seriously. I am afraid that they will be completely broken after a long time. Boom. Go. Xiao Yang snorted coldly, and then the dazzling flames wrapped the two bodies, but for Xiao Gui, he is a combination of human and ghost after all, and ghosts and anger emerged from his body. Facing this evil aura, there was no such thing as too much fear. Wong buzzing. Someone is here. It's really been a long time that no new human has entered this demon suppression prison. Human blood is so delicious. Just as Xiao Yang and the two were about to start, a vague voice suddenly emerged from the depths of the cave. Fire. With a roar, the flames on Xiao Yang's body immediately gathered in his palm, and then he suddenly attacked the cave surrounded by chains. Crash. Being hit by Xiao Yang's tyrannical blow, all the rotten chains suddenly made a trembling sound. Don't hide, come out. The next moment, those chains were easily destroyed by Xiao Yang's flames, so the surrounding of the cave was no longer bound by the chains, and more evil auras continued to emerge. The strength of the Sanqing Do Xian in the early stage. I have to say, you are not small. After a while, a gloomy voice, accompanied by bursts of evil black mist, suddenly diffused from the depths of the cave. Don't worry. I deliberately let go of that devilish giant python. Our target is you. Xiao Yang disapproved and smiled slowly. Ha ha ha. You brazen boy. No one of the human beings who entered the demon suppression prison the previous time came out alive. Suddenly, a black robe suddenly floated out from the depths of Shandong. Oh, it's actually an earth-level evil. Looking at the black-robed figure covered in evil black mist, Xiao Yang couldn't help but be surprised. You actually know the hierarchy of our alien race. Who exactly are you? In an instant, there was a tremor under the evil black mist, and he shouted angrily. Among their extraterrestrial evil races, there are 5 levels of heaven and earth venerable emperors, and even the powerhouses in the Great Thousand Worlds know very little about this kind of secret. Now you are nothing but an energy body composed of evil auras, and you can't even be regarded as a powerhouse from outsiders. As for my words, it's the one who sent you to hell. Fire explosion. Xiao Yang finished speaking, his whole body was flickering with fiery red flames, and he shot away at the evil black fog with a stride. The terrifying speed and the tyrannical flame on his body turned out to be the evil aura in the space that he passed along the way. They were forced to retreat. Good guy. This flame is a bit different, but it's too whimsical to want to obliterate me. After all, this is our territory. Magic shadow. With a cold snort, a dark cloud of air emerged from the evil black mist, and it suddenly projected towards Xiao Yang. The dark air mass just emerged, and it suddenly turned into an old black shadow, with an extremely evil aura, and attacked Xiao Yang. Bang bang bang. Seeing this, Xiao Yang didn't dodge at all. With the power and speed of the dazzling flame, he suddenly collided with the huge black shadow, and the black shadow was easily pierced by Xiao Yang. Magic hand. Seeing this, the evil black mist immediately let out a terrifying roar, and then countless evil auras around him continued to condense, and instantly formed an evil arm with a size of hundreds of feet. The whole body of the arm was blood red, and it seemed that it had absorbed a lot of human blood, so it just appeared, and it immediately brought a touch of extremely heavy pressure to Xiao Yang. The Earth-level evil in the middle stage of the three-star fighting immortals really has something. Seeing this, Xiao Yang also stopped his body in mid-air, and then gently took off the eternal fire eternal ancient ruler behind him. A fiery red flame flashed in his pupils. It is the power of the great heavenly seed crimson flame. Magic hand, tear him apart for me. In an instant, a short roar roared from the black mist, and then called out to the incomparably huge evil demonic hand. When the lifeless magic hand heard the words, the palms squirmed lightly, and the moment they fell together, they all contained an extremely huge power of destruction. It's good to come. Take me a foot. Moving the heaven ruler. The corners of Xiao Yang's mouth slowly wriggled, and then the flames all over his body were suddenly replaced by the flames of the great heaven seed. Therefore, a dazzling light burst out from the ancient eternal fire ruler in his hand, which easily swallowed the magic hand. Thus through the transfer of space, the attack was transferred to other places. Asshole. What did you do? Realizing that the tyrannical hand was easily swallowed by Xiao Yang's flaming ruler, the evil black mist couldn't help shouting. You'd better take care of yourself first. Xiao Yang raised the eternal fire ruler with the flame power of the great heavenly seed crimson flame all over his body, and forced him towards the evil black mist. I fought with you. A roar like a soul beast emerged from the evil shadow, so the entire body of the evil black mist suddenly became bright, with traces of black flames, burning like a magic fire. He got up, so his speed skyrocketed, and he suddenly shot at Xiao Yang. Blow yourself up. It's too late. One finger in the sky, call the heaven and earth. Xiao Yang's majestic voice accompanied the power of flames from the great heaven seed, and the situation completely rendered the space of several hundred meters around him into a sea of fire. With a cry of anger, countless flames suddenly condensed at Xiao Yang's pointer, and then a beam of flames that penetrated the heavens and the earth suddenly hit the evil black mist. He was hit with a finger from the sky with the blessing of Xiao Yang's great celestial seed, and the black energy in the evil black mist suddenly collapsed, and even showed signs of dissipating. Fall with me. Being so seriously injured, the evil black mist woman suddenly sneered coldly, and the harsh laughter made people feel chills. 2 fingers, break the sky. Disappear for me. The next moment, looking at the evil black fog that fell into the ferocious madness, Xiao Yang's other finger was lifted, and suddenly a beam of flame stronger than before, easily pierced through the void and hit the evil black mist suddenly. In an instant, this dignified earth-level evil in the middle stage of the 3-star battle of immortals was completely dissipated in Xiao Yang's hands. And with the fall of this guy, in Xiao Yang's arms, on top of a jade stone, a number 110 suddenly appeared. These guys seem to be a little too weak. Seeing that he had easily wiped out the demonic python in the early stage of the 3-star Dozyan and the earth-level evil in the middle of the 3-star Dozyan, Xiao Yang returned to the ground. Up, he opened his mouth slightly. Humph. If it weren't for the holy flames in your body, the battle chi in your body was tempered by holy flames, and even with the power of the dragon god transformation and the great heavenly seed, it would have taken a lot of trouble to deal with this kind of evil. And in this demon suppression prison, as you said, what you encountered just now is just an energy body composed of some evil aura. If it is a real foreign powerhouse, I am afraid it will be even more difficult. The Lord of Soul Eater Herd said, rolled his eyes. Hihi, that's true. Xiao Yang laughed when he heard this. After all, what his master said was true. Okay, take out the magic suppression stone from your body and see how many points these two guys have awarded. After a while, the Soul Eater said. Magic suppression stone? Xiao Yang was confused when he heard the words. It's the jade that Tianming Villa gave you before entering the demon suppression prison. The Lord of Soul Eater said. Squeak. With a sound, Xiao Yang gently took out the jade from his arms. 110? What does this mean? After just taking out the jade, 3 faint numbers slowly appeared on it. This is the magic stone. And the so-called magic suppressing stone is universal in the entire world. As long as you carry the demon suppression stone, after you kill the powerful outsiders, the demon suppression stone will also give you corresponding points. The Lord of Soul Eater said. Is there such a good thing? However, hunting and killing aliens is a dangerous thing. I'm afraid no one would do such a dangerous thing for some points. After all, these points don't seem to be of much use. Xiao Yang glanced at the magic stone and said. You're so dumb. Magic suppression stone is something that is recognized by countless powerhouses in the world. After the points reach a certain level, you can have a certain seat among the top powerhouses in the Great Thousand World, and after having this seat, you can do a lot of things easily, and its role will not be lower than your status as a pharmacist. But the most important thing is another effect of the magic stone. Suppressing demon treasure. The Soul Eater said slowly with a smile. Treasure of the suppression of demons? When Xiao Yang heard this, his brows suddenly jumped, as if he had discovered something. Yes, it's the demon suppression treasure. The Great Thousand Worlds are basically divided into 7 worlds, and all of the 7 worlds have the existence of the magic suppressing stone, so the supreme person of the 7 worlds walks around the magic suppressing stone, and at the same time, in order to encourage the strong in the 7 worlds to kill the outside world evil clan, so the treasure of the suppression of demons was established. And the treasures above the demon suppression treasures are issued by the highest among the 7 realms. You can inject your soul power into the magic suppressing stone, and you can view the treasures in the magic suppressing treasure. The treasures in these demon suppressing treasures are all real treasures, but it is very easy to obtain these things. Exchange with points. And the generation of points is to kill the powerhouses of the extraterritorial evil clan. From the lowest level of heaven and earth to the 5th level of the Emperor, the stronger the power of the extraterritorial evil clan powerhouse, the more points will be given. Lord of Soul Eater 1 explained in a breath. I didn't expect this magic stone to have such an effect. If I had brought it with me when I entered that demon suppression prison before, I'm afraid I have a lot of points now. Xiao Yang said with a grin. Suppressing demon treasures renew products once every 100 years, and the products that are exchanged immediately will be replaced by other things. Okay, let's see if there is anything you need in the demon suppression treasure this time. If there is, I'm afraid we need to go to meet the poisonous demon empress. The Lord of Soul Eater laughed, and there was a sense of playfulness in his voice. Yes. Xiao Yang nodded lightly, but he didn't hear what the Soul Eater said that he would go to meet the poisonous demon empress. Crash. The jade antimagic stone was gently placed in the palm of Xiao Yang's hand, and the dazzling soul power was injected into it. Magic suppressing stone, with a special material, won't shatter unless an 8-star fighting immortal powerhouse makes a move. And the material of the magic stone is special, and it is forged by a special power of space, so don't try to destroy it easily, or take chances to get points. Points can only be obtained by obliterating the alien race. Extraterritorial Evil Clan has 5 levels of Heaven and Earth Emperors, and you can get 10 points by obliterating the lowest Heaven-level evil things. Earth-level evil is divided into 3 levels, upper, middle, and lower. Lower-level Earth-level evil can earn 50 points, medium-level evil can earn 100 points, and high-level evil can earn 200 points. Exalted-level evil objects can be divided into upper and lower grades. Low-level evil objects can get 1,000 points, and high-level honor-level evil objects can get 3,000 points. Emperor-level evil objects are divided into Immortal level and Holy level 2 levels. You can get 10,000 points by obliterating the Immortal level Emperor level evil objects, and you can get 50,000 points by erasing the Holy level evil objects. The highest level, the King level, is divided into 3 grades, black, white, and red. If you kill any kind of King level powerhouse, you can ask for a fighting technique or weapon that suits you from the supreme person in this world. Soul power has just invaded it. The breath that suddenly looked at couldn't help pouring into Xiao Yang's mind. It's really a huge handwriting. Feeling this magnificent point system, Xiao Yan also sighed with emotion for the wisdom of the most powerful person in the world, and he set up such a thing as a treasure to suppress the devil. Let's see if there is anything suitable for me. After Xiao Yang finished speaking, his soul power poured into the magic stone. With a sound, Xiao Yang's figure was suddenly sucked into the magic stone. Where is this? Xiao Yang hurriedly asked. This is the inner space of the magic suppressing stone, which can only be used to exchange or view the magic suppressing treasure. And these treasures are all engraved by the strongest people in their respective realms. Once you have enough points, you can directly redeem them. However, I would like to remind you, don't think about stealing and robbing these treasures with the power of space and soul, because that's just asking for a dead end. After all, even me, I can't break the treasure of the demon, let alone you. The Soul Eater said with a smile. Xiao Yang nodded lightly. He could naturally feel the power of this space. Dozens of light groups. Come over. 7th grade immortal artifact, magic sound wood. A group of light just emerged, and suddenly a green vine slowly appeared. On top of this green vine, Xiao Yang actually felt the same fluctuations in the wood attribute in his body. 100,000 points. Originally, Xiao Yang still had some emotion in his heart, but when he saw the shocking number below the light group, he had no choice but to give up. It won't be so expensive. After seeing several treasures one after another, most of them were weapons, but the asking price was as high as tens of thousands of points, which made Xiao Yang have to give up. What's going on? At the next moment, there were still 3 remaining light groups in the demon-suppressing treasures that were not checked. Suddenly, Sheng Yang and Fen Ju squirmed together in Xiao Yang's body, and the fanatical aura seemed to point to the remaining 3 light groups. The bleakest of them all. Is this? Forcefully holding back the shock in his heart, he slowly called the light group over to check it out, but when the light group just approached Xiao Yang, waves that made Xiao Yang's heart palpitate were born. How could it be? It's actually a flame swallowing technique. And as the light group approached Xiao Yang, when the subtitles in the light group just appeared, the look of Soul Eater suddenly became strange and lost his voice. Swallowing inflammation? What is that? Noticing the loss of his master's voice, the master Soul Eater, Xiao Yang cast his gaze into the light group, and suddenly felt an extremely terrifying wave slowly emanating from it. This level of fluctuation, for the current Xiao Yang, if it touches the slightest, it is tantamount to a disaster. Xiao Yang knows that it can shock the power of Soul Eater at this level, which is enough to see this. Something extraordinary. Mid-grade fairy art, swallowing inflammation. This technique is actually a fighting technique. It can use the mystery of swallowing the flame to swallow the power of flames, thereby greatly increasing one's own strength. The enhancement time is a stick of incense time, and the enhancement of strength increases with the strength of the user's flame power. And strong, with no sequelae. But remember, only those with strong fire attributes can cultivate. If other attributes are rashly cultivated, the source will be damaged at light, and the serious will fall. The points required for the exchange, 10,000. A few lines of short and powerless handwriting, accompanied by a scroll wrapped in flames, slowly appeared in the light group. The scroll is covered by a strange flame of nothingness. It is only possible to see the existence of the scroll, but it cannot be touched. I think it is also a means set up by the Supreme to prevent others from taking chances. Obviously, this scroll actually exists in the light group, but it is protected by special means. Once Xiao Yang has enough points, it can be directly exchanged for possession. However, Xiao Yang also knows that if you want to grab it hard, I am afraid it is a fool's dream. After all, that kind of the void flame protecting the scroll could easily burn itself into ashes. Swallowing inflammation? Isn't this the same nature as the Tianhua Sanxian? Suddenly, after reading the introduction gently, before the Soul Eater could speak, Xiao Yang said with a face full of surprise, the simple words on the swallowing technique, he couldn't help but read the introduction. Xiao Yang's eyes lit up. Xiao Yang clearly remembers that the 3 mysterious transformations of the Skyfire already in his body can not only stimulate Xiao Yang's clan pattern, but even enhance Xiao Yang's power, but after all, the level is too low. Even if Xiao Yang uses the power of Holy Flame to cast Skyfire, the strength of the 3 mysterious transformations is not a small one, so the 3 mysterious transformations of Tianhua were also idled by Xiao Yang, so that they can be used to stimulate the clan marks when necessary. And now, this flame-swallowing technique is astonishingly the same as the 3 profound transformations of Tianhua, and even the level is as high as a mid-level immortal technique. For Xiao Yang, it can be said to be the best fighting technique. After all, if he mastered this fighting skill, and cooperated with Xiao Yang's body's burning dew and the power of holy flame, the swallowing flame technique, the skyrocketing strength would probably reach a jaw-dropping level. How is it? This thing. The next moment, the master of Soul Eater also regained his composure, looking at Xiao Yang who was smiling all over his face. This is a good thing, it must be obtained. After a while, Xiao Yang also showed a bright smile on the corner of his mouth. Obviously, if Xiao Yang now controls this swallowing technique, I am afraid that he will use the power of holy flame as the master of swallowing flames. Basically, that kind of help is staggering. The demon-suppressing treasure in the ghost world has been controlled by the Lord of Soul for nearly 100 years, and this swallowing technique, I remember, is the treasure of a town called the Spirit-Swallowing Clan in the Great Thousand World. Soul Eater, the old voice of the master sounded in Xiao Yang's heart, as if he remembered something from the past. The Spirit-Swallowing Clan? Xiao Yang was a little surprised when he heard the words, because he remembered that there was also the Spirit-Swallowing Clan on the Dochi continent. The matter of swallowing spirits, swallowing kings, and nothingness and swallowing flames came to Xiao Yang's mind. The so-called spirit-swallowing race above your Dochi continent is just a branch. The real spirit-swallowing race has a very high status in the Dakian world, and their king of the spirit-swallowing race can swallow everything in the world in an instant. And the spirit-swallowing race, because of the power to devour all things, although they made a lot of contributions during the World War, but after the World War, their terrifying ability to devour all things made many strong people in the world fearful, so they were joined together. Secretly expelled, and this so-called swallowing inflammation technique was handed down from the swallowing clan. Although the rank is not high, its value is extraordinary, so it is enshrined by the spirit-swallowing clan as a treasure of the town clan. Soul Eater explained. Does the ancient Emperor Tuorsha have anything to do with the spirit-swallowing clan? Suddenly, Xiao Yang suddenly thought of something and muttered, because according to the information left by Tuorsha Guni, Xiao Yang vaguely noticed the two seemed to have some connection. Emperor Tuorsha? The Soul Eater murmured as if he had remembered something when he heard the words. Master knows. Xiao Yang was overjoyed when he heard this. I don't know much about the ancient Emperor Tuorsha in your mouth. He should not be called by this name in the Great Thousand World. But the only thing I remember is that there was a peak powerhouse in the Great Thousand World who learned this technique. He is in control of the 5 holy flames, and after performing the swallowing flame technique, he can truly set foot on the pinnacles of this great world. A loud voice resounded like a bell. 5 holy flames? Xiao Yang said in shock. I don't know if that guy is the ancient Emperor Tuorsha you mentioned, but according to the information I have learned, he is also from the Dochi continent, and he doesn't seem to be a human being. The Lord of Soul Eater shook his head. It should be right. Xiao Yang nodded slowly after listening to Soul Eater's words. The strength of that guy, even I can't match, but that guy seems to have a very good relationship with the Swallowing Clan. Since the last war of heaven and earth, the Swallowing Clan disappeared, and his figure is nowhere to be seen. It has appeared, I don't know if it's fallen or what. The Lord of Soul Eater shook his head and said, but he stopped talking. Forget it, let's get the 10,000 points needed for this exchange first in hand. Xiao Yang stared at the fiery red scroll swallowing flame, licked the corner of his mouth, and said with a smile. Crash. After a while, Xiao Yang also left the space inside the demon suppression stone and returned to the demon suppression prison. Big brother, what's the matter? Xiao Yang disappeared in an instant just now, which naturally gave Xiao Gui a great panic, but fortunately, Xiao Gui's perception was also keen, so nothing happened. It's all right, I'm afraid there will be no peace for a while. Xiao Yang clapped his hands and smiled. Because most of the places where the two of them are at this time are only some low-level evil things, even if they are a little higher, there are very few earth-level evil things. In this case, it is naturally extremely difficult to collect 10,000 points. You have to move closer to the center, where the demons are powerful, but the relative points are also higher. Xiao Yang looked at the demon suppression prison haunted by demonic energy, and immediately muttered, "Let's go." As soon as the voice fell, Xiao Yang and the two slowly got up and moved towards the center. Hihi, isn't this the human guy that the adults named to arrest? I remember it's Xiao Yang, the strength of the mere 3-star battle of immortals in the early stage, wait for death. Just as Xiao Yang and the two walked towards the depths of the demon suppression prison, they did not know that they had been secretly targeted by others. In the demon suppression prison haunted by demonic energy, there are extremely evil demonic energy creeping everywhere in the sky. While these demonic energy is creeping, the anger of the entire demon suppressing prison is set off like hell. It is extraordinarily evil. People feel the breath in it at will, and it will produce a disturbing breath, which makes many strong people who enter the demon suppression prison to participate in the competition in their hearts. Big brother. The two of Xiao Yang walked towards the depths from the edge of the demon suppression prison, and they did not encounter any tyrannical evil things along the way, at most some evil things in the early and middle stages of the 3-star fighting immortals, so even now, the points in Xiao Yang's hand have only just reached 200. Although 200 points is a lot, but if you want to exchange for the swallowing inflammation technique, it is obviously a distance of 108,000 miles. It's really not that easy to get points. After killing an evil object, Xiao Yang said helplessly when he saw the number on the demon suppressing stone jumping to 210. The place where the two were located should be at the very edge of the demon suppression prison. Most of the evil things that emerged were of average strength, so the point acquisition was extremely slow. As for Xiao Gui, there is no need for it, so he has no intention to obtain points, so he gave all of his points to Xiao Yang. There seems to be something. Immediately, a ghostly energy lingered on Xiao Gui's body, and he immediately looked at a gloomy lake several hundred meters away from the two of them. Xiao Gui frowned and said. Xiao Yang didn't know why. Xiao Gui clearly had the strength of the middle stage of the 3-star fighting immortals, but he did not have any attack power. Moreover, Xiao Gui couldn't remember anything above the Li Soul realm, as if he had lost his memory. Therefore, Xiao Yang is responsible for protecting Xiao Gui along the way. However, Xiao Yang guessed that the memory above Li Soul territory was sealed by some powerhouses, but the current Xiao Yang cannot break it. That kind of seal cannot be said to be good or bad, but according to Xiao Yang's guess, it must be the same. His mother's partner temporarily sealed Xiao Gui from being wanted by Li Huanyu high-level officials. Otherwise, with the noble status of Xiao Gui's mother, Xiao Gui would not have been exiled so easily. Tear and tear. Let's go and have a look. A gust of gloomy wind blew past, and immediately filled the sky with demonic energy, which made the lake water surface extremely eerie and terrifying, as if some terrifying creature was about to emerge, Xiao Yang immediately said. As soon as the voice fell, the two figures suddenly approached the lake like ghosts. Die. The two of them just approached the surface of the water, and suddenly a voice full of evil aura suddenly brought up dozens of sky-shattering waves, which emerged from under the water surface, and a huge blood-colored energy palm madly faced Xiao. Yang Tian Lingai patted it. Saying that it was too late, that was fast, Xiao Yang turned around and avoided this seemingly tyrannical blow. Squeak. Although he avoided the deadly attack of the blood-colored energy palm, its energy overflowed and slowly stained the corner of Xiao Yang's clothes, and then the corner of Xiao Yang's clothes instantly turned into powder. Big brother, are you all right? Xiao Gui hurriedly asked when he saw this. It's all right, there seems to be something interesting here. Xiao Yang smiled slightly, and then his eyes were fixed on the water surface below. There seemed to be some creatures moving rapidly under the water surface. Get out of here. In an instant, Xiao Yang roared angrily, accompanied by an incomparably hot wave of flames, instantly covering the entire lake. Crash. And following Xiao Yang's actions, a huge hole slowly emerged above the water surface, and a human-like figure slowly stood in front of the two of them. Human? Seeing this, Xiao Yang said in surprise. Obviously, the aura on this guy's body is clearly not a figure in the demon suppression prison, but is full of human anger, but in that anger, it contains extremely large water properties. Hihi, the sense of smell is good. The man immediately grinned at Xiao Yang when he emerged from under the water. What caught Xiao Yang's sight was a man with a lean complexion. The man was about the same age as Xiao Yang. He was dressed in a blue robe and exuded a stern aura. The most important thing was this guy's strength. Actually reached the level of the late Samsung Dozian. The aura of this guy's figure seems to be familiar. Seeing the figure that just emerged from under the lake, Xiao Yang suddenly muttered to himself. Obviously the aura of this guy seemed to be something he had encountered before. The aura on this guy seems to be the same as the guys who just came to the Sea of Dust. The next moment, Xiao Yang's tyrannical soul force also noticed something and was surprised. A person from the Hidden Soul Society? Xiao Yang looked at the guy in front of him vigilantly, and suddenly said slowly, I can't see that you have a second chance. The man glanced at Xiao Yang slowly, just about to start, but he looked at Xiao Gui who was beside him. From Xiao Gui, he felt a strange aura. Wong buzzing. What are those guys calling me for? Forget it. I'll settle the account with you next time. After the man finished speaking, something seemed to flicker in his body, apparently calling for his companions. Immediately, he was bathed in a wave of water. Get ready to escape from here. Where to run? Seeing this, Xiao Yan transformed into a flame elf, with tyrannical flame power, and attacked the man in an instant. Hey, if it wasn't for something important to do, I'm afraid now you should be my defeat. I'm not afraid to tell you that the powerhouses on the eastern continent seem to be besieged by the people on the western continent. If you don't go, I'm afraid. By the way, I am one of the 4 heroes of the Hidden Soul Society, Moyu. After the Moyu man finished speaking, he disappeared here in an instant. This bastard. Xiao Gui, go. Xiao Yang cursed in a low voice at the disappearing Moyu, and then took Xiao Gui to a certain place in the demon suppression prison. Xiao Yang and Duo Chifei are connected with the power of thunder, so Xiao Yang can perceive Duo Chifei's position, and at this time, relying on the subtle connection, Xiao Yang is surprised to find that Duo Chifei's breath seems to be getting weaker gradually. As soon as the two of them finished speaking, they immediately walked towards a certain place in the demon suppression prison without stopping. Why did the hidden soul enter the demon suppression prison? Are they planning something? And there seems to be other strong people in this demon suppression prison. Is the soul venerable powerhouse of the Soul Palace? It seems that they all came here staring at the poisonous demon empress. Well, this time, I'll take this little guy to see what a real powerhouse of the evil race from outside the realm is, and maybe he can obliterate the demon empress of Poison Shaw. Hee. Since Moyu disappeared, the master of Soul Eater immediately noticed some things that were difficult for ordinary people to notice, and smiled maliciously. This video will end here.